My name is Matthew Estevez, and I am a one-man rock band. I do play guitar, I play bass. Mainly, I am a drummer. I only think of myself as a drummer. I don't think of myself as a guitarist or a bassist or a vocalist in any sort of way. I fell in love with music at a very early age before I even knew that I did. There's a video somewhere that I'm in diapers, like a tiny little baby, and my mom's like, "You want to be a drummer, Matt?" And I'm like,
Play the drums?
she knows something that I didn't know. Grew up listening to Beatles, Nirvana, like the grungy stuff, the rock and roll, the classic rock. And my brother was into punk and like ska and stuff like that growing up. So I'm like, oh, what's that? Really loud, fast stuff. And then we got into a band together. So it's just was like a whole just like, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? My whole life, and I'm still that way. My biggest music influences are Dave Grohl and Paul McCartney at the very top. The fact that they can play quite literally whatever they want and be so proficient at it. And they proved to me that like I can do it too, because I faced a lot of just stick to one thing, be good at one thing, and they taught me that if you can do it, you should do it. I just started writing random stuff. I was like, let me get this little Tascam. It was a little Tascam 4-track recorder, and I would hum the melody of the song while hitting record and drumming. Then I'd go back, so that's one track. Then I did the same thing with the guitar and the bass and then the vocals. One day I was like, okay, I have like 5 songs and I've been uploading to them on SoundCloud, and I was like, well, I don't want it just to be my name. I need a band name. One day I was talking to my mom about it, and then she goes, what about the fuck yous? And I'm like, I'm in middle school, probably not. But then I'm like, we can do the FUs.
Why don't you live with the hate you create? I know you. I got a feeling. I got a feeling you're a chaser.
I moved here into Nashville for college. There was a opportunity where I could work the front desk of the first studio on Music Row, Nashville. So cool and historic. Everyone's recorded there. So I'm like, of course I want to work there. Joey at the same time had the same opportunity, but to work as an assistant or like as an engineer within the studio to help students. Joey is my best friend. He is my producer. He is my rock. He is the reason why I am me. He is the FUs. I just bring the screamy loud music. Joey is the mastermind behind the FUs, all right?
And then he was working the front desk, and so we talked about, he was like, hey, I've got this little project I'm doing. It's called the Fuse or something like that. And he's like, do you think you could like help me record some of this stuff? He's like, I have all these projects. They're like, they're ready, but they need like engineering. I think that was basically it. We ended up just recording something while we were working one night, and we kind of just kept going.
He was this nice, like innocent college student, and I'm like over here being like, fuck, like let's fucking record, let's go do shit, let's break into the studio and like do stuff. When COVID hit, Joey's like, why don't we just record it at your house? And I'm like, duh, like why didn't I think of that? So we started experimenting where the drums sounded good. We kind of set up a home base in the living room and closed the door and try and like soundproof it. We just kind of experimented. We had no idea what we were doing. We were still learning. It kind of just snowballed into a whole album, and it flew by after a while. When it comes to producing, I don't think there's much producing going on. You just tell me it's a take.
Wait,
I don't know.
To elaborate on that, there's a lot of producing going on. Our like recording and producing process, what it really is the songwriting process. I feel like, because you sit there with your rig, whether that's your drum rig or your guitar rig or whatever, and like the ideas that go down onto the session that is like the song writing, if I understand correctly. Like while you're writing the song, they're going into Logic.
Yeah, I have like 99% of it in my brain. Sometimes, like for the last song, for Pretty, we were in the studio and I had 2 different fills for this one part. And while we were recording, I'm like, Joey, which one sounds better? And I played it real quick. He's like, the second one. I'm like, okay, cool. And that's like, that's how fast it goes. And then when it comes to vocals, same thing. I'll just sit here and I'll be like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, okay, let's do another one. And to me, that's like, okay, that sucked. Let's do it again.
It's not what it means. It's kind of what it means.
He's like the technical wizard and making things actually sound good. And I'm just like, can you make it sound like, but like light? And he's like, yeah, sure dude. And then it'll happen. He's like a translator essentially.
Oh, I like that.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. When venues started opening up, I was like, I have enough songs for a live set. While Joey and I had the studio at my house, we also had other people come in for sessions. And this one guy came in, he was recording drums for his own music. And I'm like, do you like Dave Grohl? He's like, yeah, I like Dave Grohl. Had 2 friends from college that I knew played bass and guitar. We all got along, we just started practicing, and we played some house shows after COVID ended. I love playing live. I am still nervous when I go up and play as a frontman. As a drummer, I've played like a million shows. I can go up and fucking wail out whenever I want. I miss that so much. The way that I try and lead a band for live music, I was like, as long as you play like the structure correct, change it up. Add your fills, add your solos. So I let them kind of take the reins if they wanted to. And then we just kind of worked out a set. And then it just kept going for a few years. And then last year, 2023, I'm tossing the football just very casually. Boop, my knee goes the wrong way. It snaps in half. I tore my ACL completely. It ripped in half. And we were scheduled to play with Zach at the Roxy. It was sold out in May. And the doctor's like, you need surgery, dude. And I'm like, fuck, I've never had surgery before. So I was like, can I wait this long to get it? Can I just come back right after the show? He's like, yeah, that's fine. 4 or 5 days after the show, we get back from LA, we're riding this high, and I go get surgery, get my knee sliced open, and I am stuck in my bed upstairs. It's like I couldn't walk. Like it wasn't oh, it sucks, poor me. I physically couldn't walk. My leg was locked in a straight position in the brace, and it started shrinking, and my muscle loss, all this crazy shit. So I'm bedridden essentially, and then I'm like, fuck, I want to play music so bad. Like I miss it. Like I cannot go a week without playing music. I was like, let me crutch to practice. And so I crutched to practice. I'm like, my leg is up, I'm in a brace, I can't walk. I thought it was going well. I was fully ready to play shows sitting down while I'm recovering. And then one day I was in my bed, I just started crying out of nowhere. I didn't know why. And so I just started writing down what I felt. And I realized that the people that I thought cared about me, and these people that I shared so many like intimate moments with, and I literally traveled the country with, didn't check in on me, didn't ask how I was doing, didn't say, oh, how can I help? And so I set that aside, and I'm like, at the very minimum, I need to take a break from the music to focus on myself. So I wrote down this whole thing because I usually just need to prepare the words. So, and I never cry, by the way. It's not like I'm it's not a thing that I do. So I knew that it was something serious that I need to tackle. So essentially I was like, I want to be friends. I want to hang out. I love hanging out with you guys. If you guys want to jam, I want to be there. I want to listen. I just want to be around music. I want to be around friends. I need to get out, but I need to take a break from the FUs just because I need to focus on healing after I couldn't walk. And I was like literally learning how to walk and run again. And the other guys were like, dude, yes, like let's just get some beers, hang out, be all hunky-dory. I'm like, thank God. Like I was stressing out about this. The next weekend, they post that they're all in the studio together, which is fine. And then Joey tells me that he was also there because they hired him to engineer the session, and he thought that I knew and I didn't know. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And there was never some sort of closure where it's like, oh, like, can we at least talk this out as adults? They just left. They just completely like abandoned me. And sometimes I'm like, well, it's 3 against 1. Am I really the bad guy? But then another roommate that I had that was witnessing all of this was like, that's fucked up. Joey's like, that's fucked up. It was just a complete sudden abandonment of what I thought was like a brotherly friendship. So it took a lot of time and healing, both physically and mentally, to just like realize what the fuck was going on. I'm so much better off now. I feel less constricted. I feel like I'm living for myself and not like trying to make them happy before I'm happy, because it's very Matthew coded to make other people feel good before I am. I am a year and a handful of months out from surgery. It is a killer though. It drained me so much, and this was alongside of having to do a music career, working a 9 to 5. My leg was like this tiny. Like, it's crazy how fast your muscle goes away if you don't use it. So it's like I was saying earlier, bedridden, you feel helpless, you need to rely on someone. I don't like relying on people, I'm very independent. So I had my mom come over, my other roommate was phenomenal, Jill, she has like helped me through so much. And then Ashley, my physical therapist, we grew close. She's like my older sister is how I see her. And 2 or 3 days a week I went to physical therapy. And then you have homework that you have to do a few times a day to like just keep it up. It's just like so much mental determination, and there's so many days where it hurts, but you have to push yourself because you have to get over that hurdle of, it's not like I was snowboarding or like I got attacked by a bear. I was tossing a ball and my knee went the wrong way and it snapped. So it was like, can I run again? Should I run again? Can I jog? Can I go toss the football? Should I do this? And you just learn how fragile your body is and how much you take for granted. You just have to push through it. Like, there is no whining about it, you just have to do it. But at the time of release of Piece of Me, I was like, I can't do this, because I was dealing with the ACL and the mental health and all this other shit was going on, and I was ready to just delete the FU's Instagram and social media, leave like the music up, and just be like, if I come back, I'll do it under a different name. So what motivated me with music, my song was chosen to essentially just be background music on an Apple TV show, Shrinking, the 3rd episode. So when that happened, I was like, oh shit, whatever I'm doing is working, and it doesn't matter what's happened to me, because so much shit has happened to me since that. I just need to keep doing this, because if I keep it up, something's gonna keep happening. All the good things are gonna pour in, the bad things will happen, but now that I know I can get through this. Joey's very accommodating, especially when I had all my injuries. When it came to the ACL stuff, it's just like, hey, can you help me lift this? And he's like, dude, of course. Yeah. And you were just always there for me. And Thanks. We recorded 2 songs with the active torn ACL. Yeah. And then after the ACL was healing, it's just that understanding that I wasn't getting from like anyone, from the guys. It was very refreshing to show me, in a grand scheme of things, that what was happening with them was not my fault, and it was kind of just like out of my hands at that point. And the people that I did need in my life showed up and made it known that, okay, these people are here to stay no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know, I just had a lot of respect that he was like, even the music going through that, like, I really just cared a lot. I mean, I know that was a lot to go through. I mean, physically, sure, like, obviously, but like, I don't know, I just resonated and respected him at the same time. I don't know, I just resonated and respected at the same time. You can edit that.
It was just a road bump, honestly, and it was just just keep going no matter what, because the good things will come. Sharing the music with people, and people being like, dude, Chaser was my top stream song of this year. I'm like, you're telling me that you are listening to me the most? So stuff like that just completely it makes it worth it. I know it's so cringe, everyone's like, oh well, the fans make me. But for people to be like, I felt that same exact way, and I didn't have someone who wrote a song about it the way you do, and it makes me feel seen. Don't do this, but you can snap both of my legs next time. Like, that will make it worth it. I will always find a way to keep writing music, even if it's for one person.
Joey, what's your favorite thing about working with Matt?
You know, I work with a lot of artists, and even more in the live world, like I'm working with several a day usually. But it's like a reminder that like this is really something special, you know? Not that the other ones aren't, to be very clear, but it just, to me, like, I don't know, it's something I've really been able to like pour my own heart into, even though like Matt's creative decisions are always the final choice. It's just that we tend to happen to like agree on them, and so like I can kind of pour my heart into the way that things are sounding, and it's just like kind of feels like it's my project too, you know. And so I think, well, that does answer your question in a weird roundabout way. We kind of see eye to eye. We have a similar vision. I mean, it's his music, but turns out in a way that we're both really thrilled with, and I think that's kind of a unique experience.
The plans going forward, as of now, I'm not too worried about getting a live band together. I put out a post which ended up being my most liked and viewed story and post I've ever had, which is crazy. I'm just like, I need a drummer for a live band. So I'm giving it another year or two. If I don't find a drummer, I'm just gonna go join a band and play live because it's fun and I miss it. I miss the idea of putting an album out. But I know that we live in a world where it's all singles, but I'm getting tired of that. It's also so fucking expensive to consistently put singles out, to get them mastered, and the artwork is so much, which is fine, supporting the arts. Now I'm just saving my songs. I have 2 full songs that are ready to be recorded. I'm enjoying the quiet for now after all the hectic stuff that happened last year, so I'm gonna try and go to shows, meet people, and keep writing some good tunes. That's pretty much it.